Hello and welcome back to Factorio and Space Age. So, just a PSA for today's episode. This might be very boring, but I'm going to have to do a major rebuild of the Farmer Mark 1. This ship barely got back. I had to reduce it to one engine only, and we crawled back at a speed of around 30 kilometers per second. That sucked. The major problems that we have so far, one is the asteroid catching and filtering system is not working. I've not been able to figure out why it's not working, but it just isn't working. Another problem has been situations where fuel and smelting is running at the same time. There's a weird delay with these small nodes, so I'm thinking we're gonna separate fuel system and ammo system from each other. So we'll have nodes for the fuel system and we'll have nodes for the smelting. So we can separate so the ammo production and fuel production will be a little bit more independent of each other. So that's my thinking. Also, I'm gonna try and cut weight from this ship. We'll see how that's gonna go. But yeah, we can probably just get started here. Okay, let's do this. Gonna send this down to the planet surface. We're gonna need some room in this to build. Like, other than those really annoying problems with, like, ammo and fuel production, especially ammo was suffering a lot, the ship works fairly well. The storage and, like, the Promethium catching and everything works really well. Okay, we are just gonna be sending these down for a long time. I have so many. This is the downside of using this as a storage hub. Okay, there we go. I'm pretty satisfied with that. This we can remove, and I'd like to finally upgrade the rocket launcher turrets that we have in the front here. It's gonna be 18 of them. That's gonna definitely help us a little bit as well. Okay, so the easy things that we can remove are the things on the sides. We can send all of this immediately. The front part of the ship worked really well. If it had not run out of ammo, I think it would have worked super duper well. And we can also get rid of probably this. And this. Can we... I'm gonna try and keep that there. We can get rid of that. What's this exactly? This is the trash system. Okay, and this is smelting and stuff like that. This is the Promethium. It's gonna come in here. Okay, we can do this actually. That's ammo. This is asteroid stuff. That was not working at all. This needs to go. This here needs to go as well. We can remove this here, yeah. So one of the major parts that really wasn't working was the asteroid filtering system. Like, it was really not working for some reason. We can remove this. We can do that. We can remove this. We're gonna keep this as it is. We don't really want to move that further down. This is smelting. Like all of this, I'm thinking we can probably remove. We'll do that. Okay. We can remove this. This here is one of the modules that I want to keep. We'll put that down here. This here is the same kind of deal, right? We can do this. I think that's about the same, right? Yeah. This is about the same. Doesn't really matter which way this belt goes. But that should be the same. We have some trash stuff here. I'm gonna copy paste this for the simple reason that we have some stuff here that I don't really want. Okay. We can do this. then this goes there. This goes there. Right? And this then is another module that's done. We'll keep that. This can then go. I don't really care that much about these things. Can keep that actually. Is this part of the fuel system? Technically, we don't need this belt. This was just for relaying it over to the ammo production. And that's gonna be separate now. This can go, this is not relevant for the fuel system, per se. We can remove this here as well. So I think we're gonna build this in modules of 15, because I feel like that's pretty reasonable. It's a size that I know works without like weird shit. So if we just feed this enough, I know this is gonna work, and I know that it's gonna be able to just go with this amount of engines, right? This module here is the asteroid sorting system, blah blah blah, which is great. We'll keep that. Huh. This we probably don't need. This is just routing at this specific location. This is only for the fusion reactor. So we technically don't really need that either. We'll take this. We'll put this here. We definitely need to do some modifications to this. This is ammo production. This here is not needed. We'll do that. This is a module I'd like to keep. This here is also a module I'd like to keep. This is just loading ammo. This is just loading ammo. Smelting. Smelting. Melting. Okay, so now that. Something we can scale. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that. I don't think that's relevant for the smelting rate. Okay. I think we'll do this. This here we remove. This we remove. That we remove. This we can remove. This is the smelting thing. I'm gonna put that here. This can go away. Okay. Okay, so far so good. We have split this up in a couple of different modules that I'd really like to keep. This is not needed here, right? Because this only needs to go in there. This doesn't need that either. Do something like that. That should be fine. We have the fuel thing. We can remove this. We can remove that. The trash system here could probably be improved a little bit. Okay, so let's do that. How are we looking on storage right now? Not that bad. Frankly, not that bad. Okay, so far, so good, actually. I think what we're trying to do here is be consistent. So we're gonna do this. I feel like I'm gonna start building everything in bricks, but it actually works pretty well. Also, can we cannot jump this. That's the problem, though. So we're gonna do this. Then we'll see. And we can do... I need more building space here. Okay. Didn't we have a... Oh, I can't search for that. That's unfortunate. I thought we had that one. This one. I'm gonna use this very simple technique to get this done. We're gonna have one of these above each splitter here, and that's gonna take care of that, because I think this is the most simple solution that I could think of, at least. We don't need to do anything super weird. I probably want to remove alt mode here, because it makes it a lot harder to see. Okay, this is already connected. You have the correct filter. This, that, and then there. Okay. So then we should be able to deduce that every single filter here should be able to, at least, be activated here and do Promethium. Okay, and we're doing this thing here quite well. The only reason I want to do this is because I want to move this reactor. I think the ship should be dead if the power is gonna go out. So we might as well put the reactor behind here. Which is completely fine. We'll be able to load this up with fusion cells immediately. I just want to kickstart this power before we do anything else, really. Then we can remove this part, yeah. Now, I think this is the one we used before. And I think there's a pretty good chance that we can just plop this down here somewhere. Okay. So the other thing that was really not working was reading of the thing. Do I need to read contents on this? Why am I reading contents in here? I don't think we have any use for this, right? Why am I interested in what's in here? I don't think I am, right? This is gonna function based on speed and where it's going, and we are going to send a signal in here that's gonna count those things. So this should only have one input signal now, right? So the question is, I think we're putting this here. And I think you are going to read this part of the belt. And we're gonna put one here. You are going to read that part of the belt. gonna put one here. You are going to read that part of the belt. Then we're gonna put this. You will read all of that. And we need to go in the other direction here. So we put one here. We read this part of the belt. We put that there. We read this. I think this is probably pretty ineffective. Okay. So far, so good. Like, there is no way that we can fuck this up, right? We are sending green signal reading the belts into this. You know? Everyone agrees on that, yeah? They are all connected. We are then also doing this stack thing. Actually, we can probably minimize this a little bit by doing this. But then, so we're sending the stack, we're reading the belts, everyone's happy, you know? And then the question is... That's not gonna reach. That will reach, though. Okay, so we have all those done. Now it's only this, like, really obnoxious guy over there. And that should be done as well, right? We are reading these right now. We are getting these signals. So that's good. That means that's working. We need to empty this. 200 of that, so we can kickstart this process. I mean, so far so good, right? That should be fine. Okay. So the question is... where do I want these? Could probably do that. This is blue fluid. And red fluid, we can do that. That's all symmetrical and nice. we can do that as well. So that connects through this. Not bad, not bad. Now, how much room we should have here, I'm a little bit uncertain of. I'm pretty sure this here is the middle, yeah. One, two, three, 4, 5. Let's start with 5 maybe. Okay. Whatever, dude. So we have a little bit of space here. So it's still quite big. Can we kickstart this thing? Okay. This should be fine, right? That's 8k. Yeah, that's gonna be definitely fine. Okay, so we can remove this. Yeah. There we go. It hath been removed. Okay. So far, so good. This bad boy here does 16 times 2.34. 2.34. That's 37 rockets per second. It's around 2k rockets per second, or per minute. When we were consuming the most, we were consuming more than that. So I'm thinking that we need to do this, probably. I'm gonna put that there for now. I'm thinking if we can reasonably get this somehow. So this only needs explosives and a lot of iron. This here needs, I think it's 10 iron. Yeah, 10. That's 80. It's 160 iron per minute, right? And then we need explosives, like a lot of explosives. So if we can do 2 of these is more than fine, right? We don't need more than that. Yeah, so we're sharing, this is explosives and this is iron. So if we can do... I'm just thinking here. Kinda loudly. We can do something like this. Right, and we probably need a little beacon here as well. This is gonna do 200 per second, so this is gonna be more iron than we need, right? And to feed 2 of these, we need 800 molten iron. We can do this, which is more than enough. Here. So this is enough to feed this, which is cool. And we need calcite and iron to feed this. We basically need these 2 modules. I'm gonna put them here for now. So this is what we need to do that, right? And I'm thinking this needs a lot of copper and iron specifically for this part. When we were consuming the most, okay, maybe 800 per minute, which is a lot. This is what, doing 12.7 times 4 times 60. Okay, no, that's pretty fine, actually. Surprisingly fine. So I think we can leave this alone. However, this we can probably... This is doing 1.53. Yeah, this is barely doing 300 per... I'd like to double this, if possible. Like, if we can do this, I think we'll be really good on ammo. We do something like this here. Boom. I don't know why I want that there. Let's move that. Just scooching this in here, yeah? Kinda tight. But there's a big benefit if we can do this, because we can get over here and get through into this. Now the question is, how much do we actually need? I believe we should be using these. We have so much. This is very, very unnecessary to have all these machines here, but in theory, this is, what, 100? And this is 240. But this is barely gonna consume anything, because this is gonna consume 15. So this is gonna consume 2.3. This is gonna be 10 copper per second. And this is gonna be a little bit less. So we need basically this. Just to feed the copper needs here. Which is insane. And then we need some steel as well. And when it comes to explosives, this is, again, this is 32 times. No, these all need the same. So this is almost 5 times 48. 4.68 times 48. Oh, you need 13,000 explosives. Which is insane. 4.68 times 48. You need 224. Which is basically a full belt of this. So this here is not gonna fly. This here is not gonna fly. So we need to figure this out. Okay. I don't know why I moved that, but if we remove this, like so, probably this as well. Definitely that. Do that. Let's move these. Do these as well. Let's do this in something like this. Kind of module. The first problem that we have here, we don't necessarily need to do that, do we? We can probably just do this. Okay. We'll take one of these. That's gonna be the first one we stick down. We need to reach insane amounts with this build. This is 25. There is no way that we're gonna make this work, is there? This is 31.8. This is half of what we need. We can double this. What about this? This is 36. This is 31. I think the easiest that we can do is doubling this. So this is gonna be the big problem here, yo. This here is bad. This here is really bad. Over here, we're gonna need less than 30 of this, which is like we can just do this and put that over there. That's gonna be fine. Making this here fit is gonna be problematic. We'll start with that. Like that. We'll do that. This with explosives kind of deal. Probably put that somewhere here, yeah. Maybe. You know what? I'm really not certain about these things. This needs 103, which this is absolutely able to consume, or produce, I mean. So we can do this. That can go in there, yeah? The ice and the calcite we can get here as well. One of these builds, I'm gonna do 50 calcite, roughly. That's gonna be way more than we need. This doesn't need calcite at all, so it's only this. These will be able to eat about 60, which we can make from this as well. So most of this here is already satisfied, right? Which is cool. We can do iron in. And calcite in. We can probably make that a bit more compact. Do I need this? Yeah, I kinda need the steel part. kinda need the steel part. Which I think I'd rather do like this. Not sure about that though. I think we'll just do that. And then we'll do this one again. And we'll do this. How much steel do we need here? So this is about 30. This is 60. 70, 80, 90, 100. So less than a half belt is what we need. So this actually probably just needs to be stacked like this, because it's more compact. Now the question is, this steel, is that gonna share a belt with anything? I think we've shared it with copper before, but that doesn't actually work. That really doesn't work. Copper needs to be its own belt. Like, really needs to be its own belt. Right, we also need iron here. 150 roughly. So we kinda need this thing here again. But a little bit less. Right? Just a little bit less than this. Okay, so we'll do something like this. There we go. Copper needs to be its own thing. Not exactly sure here. This is a bit much, isn't it? $144. Yeah, so this is probably... This is gonna be enough as well, right? So then we can do this. We can do this, because this is gonna be able to do full belt. Right? This is almost 300. So we'll do jump there. We'll do this. And then we suddenly have a fairly good full belt kind of deal here. Now it annoys me that I did this the other way around. We can do this. It doesn't matter that much. Yeah, this here needs to be a copper belt. Probably. And then this here needs to be copper as well. We can probably squeeze it in. Steel. You need 12. That's gonna be... how much is that gonna be? That's about 50. Probably don't want to hit that with... We'll do that. It's gonna be a little bit of an annoying gap. Then we can probably squeeze it in pretty tight here. So... that's what we're gonna have to do. And then we're gonna have to do this. And this. And we'll have to do that. But maybe there instead. And then we'll go in there, and that should be steel and explosives on one belt, yeah? This actually does not work. We'll have to merge that a little bit better. And that should also kinda work, yeah? Okay. We're putting that there. This here is gonna be painful. We'll put that for now there. Okay. Let's see if we can put out these. I think that's it, right? And that's also it, yeah. So those two should be exactly on the same place. Pretty good, actually. Okay. Do we care? I don't remember what we did on the other one. I think I took a thing here. Yeah, we did a 1 to 3 kind of thing. This one. We can probably do this. Upgrade that to green. Do that. In you go. This here is gonna have to be a 3 to 2 if we can find one. So that's gonna be this. And we upgrade that. That should be fine. This is gonna be right filter, input priority left. Okay. There we go. That's what we did, right? Yeah, and then we'll do this. We'll split that on the other side. That's gonna go here. It's gonna go all the way up here, yeah? We're gonna jump, and we're gonna go there. Okay, so far, so good. So we have a little bit less storage. Which is, you know, slightly annoying. But we also probably want to do this, yeah. That's not all. Okay. Yeah, so that's gonna read all of the contents of this. This is gonna read all of the contents on this. Which we don't have any as of right now. Then we'll take this. We'll put that here. We can then send that to the platform. And we can read can read this circuit. And that's not going to be 160k, that's going to be like 100k. Okay. So now we need to figure out now we really need to figure these things out. How tight can we make this? I'm thinking. Maybe we just go here even. And we can just get rid of these things here. Whatever. That should be fine, right? We still have 3 here. Just easy peasy. We even have like a little bit too much room here, I feel like. I feel like we can cut more. I'd like to do this here. I want to remember that this is just trashed out. Right? I can probably just put that there, right? That's not too bad. This is gonna be kinda tight, which I don't particularly like, but it's fine. And then I want something like this here as well. But we don't need an input priority. And that's gonna be there. Okay. That part is done. Now comes the explosive part, which is gonna be the really sucky part here. I think we put it here somewhere. Don't really have a good way of taking that to here. Unless we count this as a good way. Not particularly fond of it. But it's not the end of the world either. It's not too bad. It's a little bit spaghetti. But it's not too bad. Now, the biggest problem here, you are automatically gonna regulate your thing, right? Yeah. So you don't really care if we're spending the calcite or the thing, right? That's fine. So it's ice and calcite. Okay. So we'll have that going in there. Do I split it or do I loop it? I think we do this, yeah. I think that's the least annoying option. Okay, so all the ice and goodies gonna go from there into there. Now we need carbon and sulfur. We're gonna need quite a lot of it as well. So we're gonna take this. We're gonna go here somewhere. Gonna take this trash thing. Okay, so this is 30 sulfur. Why is that 5? This is 40. Okay. That's not good. I don't really want that. I want this to be consistent. So this is 5, 10, 20, 40, which is more than enough. And this is 50, 60, 70, 80. So not really enough, is what I'm gathering from that. No, you're gonna go this direction, yeah? Okay. That's fine. We only need to merge this. Kinda technically needed to merge this as well. Fuck. It's okay. We'll run 2 trash lines here. Okay. So, how much did I say? This is 10, that's 20. 30, 40. That's 80. So it's still less than A full belt, yeah. However, you're gonna need 120 per line. You know what? Since we have 2 here, why don't we just do this, yeah? And you need sulfur as well, yeah? Wait, where did I think that this is gonna get its sulfur from? So you're getting sulfur. And you are getting sulfur and everything. No, we're gonna go there, and there, and there, and there. Okay, that should be fine. Okay. There we go. This should be working quite well now. We're back to setting these to 75, because I think anything above 75, maybe even 70, is gonna potentially stall. Which we really don't want. Huh? So that's that done. Now we need to trash these 2 somewhere. We can probably trash them here. I don't know how many legendary inserters we'll need to do that, but we'll put some up there. Probably gonna do that for now. Okay. So over here, we basically only need carbon. So this is gonna be a little bit overkill here. This is really squeezed in, isn't it? But I feel like that's pretty good. I kind of want that. That's gonna be affecting that. We can do this. Then it's really squeezed in. We can do this. Probably. Okay, so you want to get your stuff here. We'll just do this, I think. Pretty certain we can just use the same trash pile as the other one. I don't think this is gonna trash enough, so that becomes a problem. Yeah, and then we need the iron and the ice to be here somewhere, yeah? Maybe... Wait, here. We can maybe be here. That's not too bad. Let's remove this that we don't really need. These are completely useless as of right now. Let's move this. Let's swap these. Let's swap this. So iron just needs to go in here, yeah? And ice just needs to go in here. Huh. That's a bit... That is a little bit annoying. Let's see if we can merge these in a way that's not completely freaking terrible. Okay. We'll do that. That's gonna go there. And then we're gonna trash things here as well. Like so. Easy peasy. And then we'll have this jumping over all these obstacles. Like so. Not bad. I think we can remove that now. I think we're pretty much done. I find it funny. We reduced basically this to this, which feels significantly smaller. Like, significantly smaller. Okay, we'll have... So rocket ammo needs to go here. I don't know if this inserter is gonna be able to keep up. But if it can't, I guess that's a good problem to have. This is our fancy pants ammo. That's not gonna be able to go there, but it's gonna be able to go here. And then we jump this, go one up, and we jump there. And that should be able to go in there. So now that's connected. And probably doing quite well. Yeah, I'm gonna reduce this as much as I can. So we're going from like 6,000 or 7,000 tons or whatever it was. And we're already... I don't think I can see that in here. Which is unfortunate, but yeah. You need your thing, yeah. Okay. So far, so good. Right. I think we do this, yeah. And asteroid belt is just gonna hug there, yeah. And it's gonna hug here. Okay. And it's gonna hug here. And there. If I do this, it should be able to read the whole fucking thing. And it looks like it is. No, there's something again. Oh, yeah, you took it. Okay, that makes sense. So this is gonna start working now, which is not bad. Cool. So I'm not gonna really bother. You know what? Let's do ammo first. So we got rockets out here. Thinking we'll do that. Actually, we'll take rockets one step further. We'll just go through all the way here, yeah? Then jump. And then something like that, yeah? Cool. Then we'll take the fancy pants ammo. AKA railgun. Gonna put that here. So I kinda like this part. And then I kinda want this as well, right? I think we just do this. We can move this down. Here, maybe. I think we don't need to be covering as much. We'll do that. And we'll do that. It's fine. So I just really want these to cover each other. They don't really need to do that much. I think we do this, yeah. We'll take the rockets here. And the fancy ammo there. Then I think we actually see if we can cut some stuff here. Not pretty, but it does help reduce the weight a little bit. Okay. Yeah, and we can do this. And that, probably. We could strip more here, but honestly, what's the point? However, I probably want to get a couple here. Something like that. This is pretty well covered so far. We could even strip further in here if we wanted to, really. This we can... I don't think we can do that. No, yeah. Can't do underground in nothing. So this is about as stripped as we can make this. This here should be reading everything, yeah? And we can probably start sending stuff down now. Yeah, we don't want that, actually. We don't want the yellow rockets either. Or these things here. However, I do want the fusion cells. Okay. So, in terms of ammo, we're kinda good. In terms of fuel, we're really, really not good. We're gonna have to wait to test drive this. I need to let this idle a little bit. Because it needs to get some asteroids in the system. But I'm feeling a lot better about this ship than the other one. The fact that we have twice the amount of ammo production for rockets and railgun is incredibly good. Oh, I'm so stupid. We didn't do this yet. Right. Anyway, I'm gonna hook that up with a couple of these modules while I wait for the asteroids. I'm gonna do that between episodes, whatever. That's completely fine. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.